dramatically walking with a box of personal items. Dramatic sigh. I quit my job. So as some of you know, I've been pretty busy these past couple months with all sorts of stuff. I guess as any newcomers who maybe stumbled across this video for some reason, I'm Ben. I live in a van with my dog, Rocky, and my cat, Archer. I run this YouTube channel. I have a shoe company called Anomaly Footwear. I work for a production company called Bayonet Media, who also partners with me to run this YouTube channel. And I've recently started to do some construction work on a buddy's house where I park the van, and that basically brings you to where we're at today. So it's a lot. I've been doing a lot, and I have finally hit my breaking point. If you've been following along, you know that I've been remodeling my buddy Joe's house. And I started out by remodeling his bathroom, and that went well, so we decided to move on to his back room, this kind of sunroom that he has there, as well as some of the exterior stuff. The bathroom was a lot of work, so I decided to bring Steve along. Steve's my dad's carpenter who helped me build out the van from time to time, and he had some free time, and so every other weekend he comes out and helps me on Joe's home remodel. On the window, the cat bar, that's part of the house. What? This cat is gonna escape, getting rid of this wall. All this siding needs to go. Just gotta keep going. So it's a big project, it's a huge undertaking, and I'm glad to have his help. And so far, things have been going good. There was a moment where, we had finished gutting his back room and putting up the new framework for where we're gonna put the big window in. And we had all this debris, all the stuff that we gutted out that had to go to the dump. And I filmed it all, but it's gone. So we're back in the room. I don't know how much footage I have on this camera because all the stuff I shot on the GoPro is now gone. I had to get rid of all the garbage, all of the debris that we created from gutting this room. And when I was at the dump emptying stuff, I decided to time lapse it, but I set the camera outside of the trailer and I pulled away, and immediately I realized, oh, I left the camera. I turned back, and the bulldozer had taken our trash into the giant pile. So it was bulldozed. And we looked for it. We looked for it for a good 45 minutes. The guy who was operating the bulldozer said he'd help us. He felt bad that he ran it over. He's like, usually I keep my eye out for that kind of thing. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh no, dude, it's my fault. I'm the dummy who put it there. So we looked for a while, and I even got to connect to it, but it was real spotty, and then we dug some stuff up. He kept moving it around, and I think during that it might have got crushed or something happened, because then I couldn't connect it to it anymore. Lesson learned, don't leave your camera in trash. So I had to buy a new GoPro, but all that footage is gone. We have a GoPro again. It's over here. It's like it never was gone. Brand new setup. It was exactly this. Taken out by a ginormous bulldozer. Another thing that I do is run a skate shoe company called Anomaly Footwear. I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes with order fulfillment and new shoe development, working with our new factory and trying to get things going so that we can manufacture some new shoes. I also do all of the marketing material for it.
Presenting the Shoe Breaker Inner. Immediately, the Shoe Breaker Inner will get to work breaking in your shoes. It's only a matter of seconds before your sneakers are ready to go. Pop them out.
So whenever I can find time, I'll whip some props together and I'll try to film a video really quick, edit it, and release it. And I've been doing okay with that, but I've been finding myself running super short on time, and that's because people are now allowed to go back to work.
I'm on my way to a shoot with Bayonet
it is a like live concert. Now we're all getting back to shooting. Things aren't totally normal. We gotta have face masks on, 6 feet apart. You gotta get your temperature checked on your way in, all sorts of stuff. But productions are back, and everybody, like all these different accounts are all like, we want videos now. What was like one client a month turned into like 4 clients in 2 weeks. So I immediately got slammed with a bunch of production work, and you know, I was working part-time and they had to put me at full-time again. So way too much going on at once. All right, wave bye. Wave bye. And shoot days are always kind of a bit of a struggle when living in a van, especially during the summer. Oh, Archer! Oh, you little shit. Come on. Go on, Rock, go on. You guys. Darn it. It's one of those things, if I didn't have pets, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I could just take it and park it wherever I'm at. But because it's so hot and I have pets, I can't take the van and leave it on a shoot location, you know, when it's 95 degrees out, which it's been for the past couple weeks, and it's going to be for the next few weeks.
So one of the things that kind of is hard during these shoots during the summer is that it's so hot out. I can't take the van with me and leave it parked wherever we're shooting unless I could plug it in to run the AC. And even then, if there's no shade, it's no good. Like it has to be in the shade, or just, you know, the body of the van gets too hot. So I usually leave it parked right back here, and then he'll let me take his spare car. But today, the shoot is so close, I get to take his bike. But it's another one of the things that you need to think about when living in a van with pets. When the weather's not ideal and you have to work, what are you gonna do? What's your backup plan? How are you gonna make it so that your pets are safe? All right, you get the idea. I'm pedaling. I got here a little early.
And you barely have to work.
It's assisted bike, yeah.
Like you just like
Pedal twice and you're going 20. When you're going down the Monon, it's like there's these serious bikers who are like sweating, and then I'm just it beats taking the Prius all the time.
And then letting the pets out, that's a thing too, you know? Shoot days can be very long, so I need to figure out a way where I can let Rocky out, or have somebody let them out of the van. And you know, most of the time Joe is home and can let them out. But sometimes I've got to figure a way to get back to the van, let them out, and then get back to the shoot, which luckily, lately I've been able to do that.
Here's my ride. Because this is as far as this goes.
I'm hoping more, but there's something like talking to me. There you go. What's up, brother? We'll go with that Tito. What I know,
Time to let Rocky out. Come on, go bite.
Hello?
Go potty. Go potty. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Come here for 2 seconds, he gets dirt on me.
You know, with that added workload, it's caused a lot of things to kind of fall through the cracks, because I also am running the whole DogCat channel on my own. And I have been kind of doing this for the past month and a half. And I really haven't had a ton of time to devote to the channel because I've been having to work full time again.
Aaron and I are about to head out to go do some kayaking. All right, so you'll have to load in the back with him. Rocky, say hi.
I wanted to go on a trip with Aaron to film and have some fun.
Kayaks are up.
We did, we got to go, but it wasn't the plan that we had.
Definitely getting a late start, but I feel like we're gonna get tired and burnt out there anyways.
We didn't have any time to pre-plan it to pick a good spot to drop in, so we ended up somewhere with some stagnant water and a bunch of flies.
I don't know if you can see on here, but Aaron's coming. Oh, you're gonna lay down. It's too hot. So we made it. It's just dead water. No wakes, no nothing. Dead. And it's hot as fuck. And the water is like bathtub water. It doesn't open up anywhere. Go for it. Go on. You wanna go? Go on. See, you can walk.
Hi, my name is COVID Aaron, and I have a beard.
Whoa. I have a dirty face.
Oh. Yeah, dude, it's fucking gross. What do you want to do? Tail stash.
I heard it coming back. I just have a really raw asshole on my leg. I've been bit by a million flies. It's hot. I'm tired.
I hope you make everyone aware that I'm good and you're not this time.
We're back in the van. That was kind of a bummer. I just got mud in the eyes and bites. There's a lot of flies. And I think it's because Rocky jumped in this like poop bog. And after that, it was nothing but flies. It was insane. Now we're gonna head and see if there's any camping available, and if not, just drive back. Woo!
Any trips longer than a day are just out of the question. I even felt guilty going kayaking because I have so many other things I need to be doing that I really couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I was hoping like this would be the first trip back in the van, and it's been nothing. We've been in it for 4 hours.
I'm just kind of going through the motions because I don't have enough time. I've got too much going on.
I mean, we did experience something new. We strapped kayaks to the top of it. So
We
there's
also experienced kayaking in still waters. We haven't done that until.
yes, stagnant poop waters.
And now you have a friend.
Oh, those things stink. It fell on me. Great. See?
Oh, it's on the window here.
Oh.
Yeah, just let him out. He'll be fine.
Uh-oh, I pinched him in.
Oh, murderous bastard.
Sorry, dude.
Flick a flick. Flick.
As I drive off the road.
I've got too much going on,
Boo!
which meant something had to go, and it was my job here. It's July 3rd, 2020, and it is officially my last day as an employee for Bayonet Media. And that wasn't an easy decision. I started working with the guys here at Bayonet when it was just two of them, Joe and Andrew, when they were starting the business 7 years ago. You know, they brought me on as an intern, and I was editing and shooting for them, and then I worked part-time for them. I did my own thing for a while, and then after college I freelanced, and then eventually they hired me on full-time, and I've been here for nearly 5 years now. And in that amount of time, I learned a lot.
3, 2, 1. How's the shot look?
got a little something on your lips.
Why is this going so slow?
Oh, that's a cool shot. Kevin, you're ruining it! Go! Wow. You guys hear that? How'd you like to ride on my train? How was it?
Top class amenities.
Yeah, cool. No, shit. Whoa. Sounded like a dog.
It did come to a point where we're at now where I kind of quit learning. You know, I hit a plateau. It was more of a thing where I was paying the bills. I'm kind of a cog in the machine here.
You guys ready? Let's roll. And action background.
It should be easy to get great water.
Cut.
When I look at Anomaly, I'm constantly learning, developing the shoes and creating the marketing material.
So I'm at my dad's and we're trying to rig a charge to blow a shoe up for a quick little shoe ad I wanted to do for the 4th of July. So you're completing the circuit and then you plug it into an extension cord and then it should trip, at least cause a spark, which then ignites the powder within the pill. Well, I guess we could just give you 25% off.
The whole thing is a challenge and it teaches me every day. It's something that I find invaluable, and I find the YouTube channel the same way. Growing an audience, to developing the content and getting it out there, to finding ways to make it financially stable. All of this has been a remarkable learning experience, and it continues to be that way. And even the construction job that I'm doing, the little things that I'm doing over at Joe's place are very valuable. You know, I know a few things going in, but I'm also learning a lot, and having Steve there to teach me the things that I don't know is super important. You know, I find that the things that I'm learning on this little construction job are gonna be really valuable for me moving forward.
Time to mix some concrete.
Because I'm not gonna live in a van forever. You know, I wanna experiment with other dwellings. I wanna try a tree house or building my own little shed home or tiny home or cabin. All these things that I'm learning on this construction job can be applied later on.
On this week's episode of Ghost Hunters, heard the sound of meowing. So we came to look and we discovered ghost turds.
Radioactive.
Covered with ectoplasm. Look at all of them. We're in a graveyard.
And at the end of the day, that's what's important to me. Growth, experience. Yeah, it's a bit scary to be leaving here because this was my main source of income. This was my safety net. This is what's been able to keep me going through all these crazy projects. But we've grown the channel to a point where I can probably get by. So it's moving in the right direction, and I really don't want to see it just end there. I have so much more I want to do. And don't get me wrong, I'll still be working here in a sense. I sold everything I had to get the shoe company going, and so I've been using Bayonet's equipment for everything. I store all the footage here. I'm gonna be editing off of things here. The merchandise will be stored here, and I'll be doing all the fulfillment from here because they own a percentage of the channel still. So we're always gonna work with each other. And I don't wanna sound like an ingrate at all. They were willing to support me on all of these crazy ideas I had when I said I wanted to start a skate shoe company and I'm gonna live out of a van and I'm gonna film it. We always had the goal I'd get their support for a full year. Well, that year's up. June was the mark of the end of that, and now they're kind of hands off. You know, the channel's not quite to the point of being self-sustaining, but we're close, and I want to keep going, even if the team here can't.
Usually around this time, I'm on a boring weekly meeting, but now I'm using this time to skate, and I am rusty. It's so hot. I'm pooped.
So yeah, time. That's what it came down to. And there's only so much of it. And I need to figure out how I want to spend it. It would be amazing if one day I could just focus on Anomaly and the DogCatManVan channel. I could just have these two responsibilities. Eventually, it will be to that point, and I can probably even hire on people to help me. But for now, I just need to keep going. I need to make sure I have enough time to see these things through and keep them growing. So I guess I'm on to the next chapter of my life. That feels way too big. Maybe a paragraph. We're on to the next paragraph of my life.
So since I live in a van, I've kind of been using Bayonet as a storage space for any production gear I have, a lot of the shoe stuff that I have with samples. These are all old samples and current shoes that I shoot with, and my desk is always cluttered mess. I have a feeling I'm going to be taking stuff out of here for a couple weeks as I find it, because I think I've got things placed everywhere. There's all my shoe stuff, plus props and other little things like that that weren't in the office. But it took a whole shelf. Figured I'd film it. What do you think, Brock?
And it's taking on, again, more risk, kind of. But I think one day it'll pay off. I hope it'll pay off. Yeah, it would really suck if it didn't. I guess I've learned a lot, you know. There's the experience side of things. But before I'm done, I just wanted to thank everybody who has kind of followed along and supported the channel, whether it's just viewing the videos and subscribing and sharing and liking and all that jazz, or even jumping on Patreon and giving your monthly donation to keep the channel going. And even the merchandise. If you bought some shirts or stickers or air fresheners, that all helps. See that shirt? You could be wearing that. Every little bit counts, and I wanted to say thanks to everybody who's kept this thing going. Thanks for watching this video. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's an update. It's part of the story, right? So weird. It's such a weird thing. It's like a reality show. Oh, this episode on Ben's life. He's over there. Rocky thanks you. I think I got it all. I think I hit all the points. Till next time. My mom got me a pooping firework. Hey, look, it did it.